built to stop Sammy Watkins. Both of those guys showed up, and Travis Kelce showed up as well. So, when you look at it in its totality, Tom Brady needed to do more on the offensive side of the ball. And the entire offense needed to do more in order to keep Patrick Mahomes and that dynamic offense on the sideline and not on the field. And that wasn't the case. So, 50% goes to Tom, 50% to the defensive side of the ball because they cannot stop Patrick Mahomes. They cannot contain Tyreek Hill. And before you know it, they was down 17 points in a huge deficit, and they couldn't dig themselves out of their hole. I don't think that football team is built to come from behind and win. Now, they did it to a certain degree, but it was just too late. And then the 2 interceptions, I think, was the biggest letdown of all. When they was trying them out to come back and putting points on the board and trying to get some momentum, the interceptions just came at inopportune times, and that cost them the game. So, that's the reason I say Tom played a major part in it, but it was also the defense as well.
So I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, you said they got down 17-0. So, Michael Vick, if you scored a touchdown, let's just say when you were the Falcons, you scored a touchdown. You came to the bench. What did your team do? They kicked the ball out to the other team, right? So the other team got an opportunity to get the ball. Huh?
Yeah, that's the way the game goes.
Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out. So Tom Brady didn't get the ball in order for them to get down 17-0. So he didn't get the ball at all, huh? So it was just like the.
Yeah, he got. I said he had some drives to start out.
Okay, so that's okay. Let me ask you a question. When
early in the game,
the Chiefs had 2 possessions, had the ball, 2 cracks on the 1-yard line, and the Bucs kept them out of the end zone. Are we gonna give them credit for that? On Tom Brady's 2 interceptions. Tom Brady's 2 interceptions. They gave up no points. Are we gonna give them credit for that? When they was about to blow the game open, Patrick Mahomes had got it going again, and Shaq Barrett Saxon, and he fumbles the ball. And are we going to give them credit for that? I don't think this is a 50-50 proposition. I believe it's an 80-20 proposition.
What about the secondary when Tyreek Hill was just running through the secondary?
Yes, okay. They gave up touchdowns. Okay, we kicked the ball off to Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know, but what about when Sammy Watkins was converting on every 3rd down almost?
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes
converting. You said, hold on, Mike. You break it up a little bit. You said converting on 3rd down. Tom Brady didn't get an opportunity to convert on 3rd downs?
Yeah, but he didn't.
Oh, okay. That's my point. But you were talking about that shit. So how is that the defense fault? He doesn't convert on 3rd downs.
Is that all you got? You done?
I'm just asking. I want Mike to tell me.
That's all you got.
I just want Mike to tell me how is it the defense.
You know what I'm saying? You watch the same game and you know what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know. Look, Mike, I know it's hard to criticize these quarterbacks, but you know Tom Brady isn't playing well. He has the 2nd most interceptions to Carson Wentz. Is Carson Wentz playing well? No, he's not. He has 7 interceptions in 4 games.
Carson Wentz had the weapons that Tom Brady got.
No, exactly. So now you should even give him more blame because he got weapons in doing that. Thank you, Mike Vick. Go ahead, Skip. Take it away.
Defense. Hold on. With that defense, man, they cannot stop Tyreek Hill. Look, I understand when the ball is in Brady's hands, he got to put in some work. He got to make some things happen. But if he can't do that, then it's up to the defense to get some stops and get him the ball back. And they didn't. They was down 17-0 before the game even started, bro.
My turn. And I've got to bring a little reality and objectivity to this Brady hater, especially sitting across the table from me right now, because he led all the Brady haters yesterday to write this story before it was done. You got to be careful with the GOAT, because the GOAT's going to get you if you give him time to get you. And the game is, how many quarters are there in football? Help me out.
4.
Oh, there are 4 quarters. Who has owned the 4th quarter in his career? I think it's Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., and he owned it again yesterday. So help me out here. Did Brady cut the deficit to 27-24 with maybe 20 seconds left again? No! He cut it to 27-24 with his 2nd long 4th quarter drive and touchdown pass with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the football game. All he needed was for his defense to just give him the ball back with 2 minutes left or maybe a minute 30, just one stop. And they couldn't even get the ball back with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left. they put a punctuation mark on the sorriest defensive effort of the year by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense by not getting the ball back to Tom Brady. So let's just look at this. My man across the table says 80% of the blame to a quarterback who yesterday, in just 23 minutes time of possession, threw for 369 yards and 3 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes actually had the ball for 37 minutes, 14 more minutes. And he threw for 462. That's really good.
Yeah.
And 3 touchdowns. Wait a second. If we do the math, if Tom Brady had had the ball for 37 minutes in that game, he was on pace to throw for 555 yards. I want people out there to let that sink in. 555 would have been the all-time NFL record set by Norm Van Brocklin in 1951 with 554. Well, I'm just saying, if you gave him the ball as hot as he got for the last 3 quarters of that game, because he was throwing a party on that.
Well, I wish the game would have been closer. I wish the game had been nip and tuck back and forth and watch Mahomes throw for 700.
Well, he made it real close at the end. And you're saying 80%? Hey, I will give Brady 20% of the blame, because just the first quarter alone, the Tampa Bay defense deserves 80%, because I have never been more embarrassed for a defense than I was for Todd Bowles, for whom I have the highest regard and respect. He's a good man and a great defensive coach. But without Jamel Dean, his one fast corner who runs 4.3, he's out, concussion. All of a sudden, you're going to put Carlton Davis, your physical corner, on Tyreek Hill in single solo coverage for the whole first quarter, really for the whole first half. He goes for 203 in the first quarter. It was a joke. And Patrick Mahomes throws for, wait a second, 359 yards in the first half? It's absurd. It's humiliating. It's just so wrong that defense would give up that many yards and that many points in the first half. For the GOAT to almost dig them out of that hole, he deserves at least 80% of the credit.
Yep. Tom Brady, but he's the GOAT, but he's not the GOAT right now. Because here's the problem that I have, Mike, is that we say the defense. We've seen Tom Brady. Teams almost come back. Brady gets the ball and never gives it back. And we never say the defense was sorry because they couldn't get the ball back. We heap kudos on Tom Brady for making every play. Now Patrick Mahomes do what Tom Brady has done for 20 years, and now we blame the defense.
Yeah, but Tom is the GOAT. And he's 43 years old, Shay. I mean,
I get that.
He came to Tampa for some help.
But here's the thing. Michael Jordan was the GOAT. But when he came back to Washington, Mike, he was not the best player in the league. 2 things can be true. I'm a firm believer. 2 things can be true. If you want to say Michael Jordan was the GOAT when he came back and played in Washington, that's fine. But he wasn't better than Shaq then. He wasn't better than Kobe then. He wasn't better than T-Mac then. That's okay. Tom Brady can be the GOAT, but it's not comparable. He can't touch my homeboy's shoes right now. You know that.
Who leads the league in completions right now? Help me out.
Who leads the league in attempts?
Tom Brady. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Yeah, interesting.
So give Pat Mahomes, because think about it, Skip. Give Mahomes the same amount of attempts with his completion percentage, and it'll be off the chart.
Well, don't tell me he's washed up when he leads the league in attempts and completions.
Skip,
something's going right.
If I collect cans every day more than you, I'm gonna have more cans. He's throwing the ball more than everybody.
He's completing it a whole lot too.
Why did he complete it yesterday in the first half?
Well, help me out here. What happened on the very first drive, if we could see this? Tom Brady throws a sweet deep ball to his best receiver, Mike Evans, and hits him right here. Here we go.
Right through his hands.
Just drops it right down the chimney, right through his hands. You have to catch that. If you're a Pro Bowl receiver, you have to find the ball and catch it.
He misjudged.
And you'd have it down at the 20-yard line. What if they go score and go up 7-3? We might have a whole different narrative in the first half. So don't tell me he didn't do something in the first series he had the ball, because that worked.
Hold on, Mike. But what about the one he threw to AB out of bounds? That was 10 yards out of bounds.
Yeah, and AB was blanketed.
You remember that one?
Yeah. You know, I mean, the entire offense, like that's the play that Mike Evans got to make. The desperation that this team is under, the magnitude of this game, the guy that's on the other side of the field, and Patrick Mahomes, the main guys make those plays in big moments. I don't see Deshaun Jackson, dropping that type of pass. I don't see Tyreek Hill dropping that ball. That play needed to be made, and that was a play that Tom Brady made, and it just wasn't. And that's why I say 50% to Brady in the offense, the other 50 to the defense.
But see, what I'm having a hard time understanding is that when Tom Brady does in the Super Bowl, Skip talking about Tom Brady threw for all these yards against the Legion of Boom, even though Belichick's defense didn't give up a point. We talk about how Tom Brady came back against the Falcons, even though Coach Belichick's defense didn't give up a point in the second half. Y'all didn't give the defense. You didn't mention the defense, Mike. All you talked about how great Brady was the second half. You talked about how great Brady was in the fourth quarter. You didn't mention the D. Now Tom Brady lays an egg for the better part of the game, and now all of a sudden it's the defensive fault.
For the better part of the game?
Yes.
In the last 3 quarters, he threw for 330.